A's rolling,
Sick.
audio's rolling.
Sick.
You sound sick.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a throaty thing going on here.
A little bit of congestion.
Congestion, frog in my throat, some would say.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
on that note, for about 3 days, I was super congested after one of our last shoots.
Oof. What shoot was that?
I'm going to say that it may have had something to do with the sawdust.
Oh, yeah. I know where you're going with this.
I breathed in a lot that day just through just being present.
Our cameras breathed in a lot that day.
Yeah, mine's still dirty. I need to...
I blew the magic off last night, actually.
So we take the least weather sealed,
Yes.
the least
Durable.
durable, rugged.
Yeah.
These are the cameras that we decide to take to a lumberyard.
A lumberyard. But we took them for a good reason. Sturdiness and ruggedness, be gone at that point in time.
Right.
We wanted one thing and one thing only. The best image that we could possibly get.
Yeah. So cool thing about those, everybody knows Blackmagic. Well, let me rephrase that. Anybody who knows about Blackmagic knows that you're getting probably three things. One, a really quirky body style.
Yeah. It's ugly.
It is goofy looking.
She is not the girl you take to the dance.
I don't know why they've not went with a cube yet. But anyways,
Beats me.
you're getting a goofy body.
Yeah.
You're probably getting some quirky menu, record limits, just the nuances
Yeah.
of what's available here, what's not available here.
Yep.
But you're getting quality.
Yeah. Image quality.
Image.
Not build quality.
And along with that, generally comes massive file sizes. Massive.
Yeah.
So much so that it can be a bit of a deterrent if you're doing a whole lot of short content shooting. It's like, man, we are tearing through the hard drives.
I mean, we literally have to shoot 2 hard drives with these cameras.
Our smallest hard drive to record to are 1 terabyte drives.
Yeah. And we usually fill those up about halfway on any given shoot.
So we recently discovered pretty cool little workaround.
Doesn't negate the fact that these things are built totally and almost exclusively out of plastic.
Yeah.
So not fun for a lumberyard.
Not fun for a lumberyard.
But man, the footage.
We have found ways to extend the usability of these through not being as data hungry. We'll talk about that in another episode, I think.
I want you to recount, though, because I don't want to breeze over this. Living Not Lumber. Oh, Max. I want to recount our day with him because he is such a character.
Max Morris, brought to us by
Brianna.
Brianna's a recurring name, recurring theme.
Yes.
Recurring shout out.
Yep. Brianna
on
Fillers,
this podcast.
brand strategist, brand extraordinaire.
I'm not wearing the shirt today. I'm wearing my Ben's Jesus shirt.
There you go.
You are wearing the shirt.
Right there. That's Brianna's work.
Anyway, her brother, Max, runs a lumberyard.
Yes.
In Abingdon, Virginia. And at one point during our brand work through process, rebranding, that whole thing, she mentioned, hey, I think I have an ideal client for you. I'm not just saying that because he's my brother, but because he's in the industry that you all love, which is we love outdoors. We love active
living.
We love anything that we can embrace our moody look with.
Yes.
So, I mean, income's living, not lumber, because this is a massive lumber yard.
Yes.
Who does their own sawmilling? They cut their own slabs. He does his own kiln drying.
He's also, and I didn't know this until we got into working with Max. He's the plug for one specific type of wood that he's one of the only resources for.
Yeah.
Here on the East Coast. I was like, oh, Max, you've got a little bit of a monopoly on this specific piece of wood. That's pretty cool.
Specializes in basically all your Appalachian hardwoods.
Yes.
Which was really cool because it was neat to see the variety of offerings that he had. I mean, I enjoy working with wood, but purely on a hobby level.
Right.
I just enjoy tinkering with it and all that. Max has slabs. He has mantles. He has cabinet grade plywood. He has
Guitar wood.
guitar wood.
Which
He has
intrigues
some
me.
kind of rare woods as well, like really colorful purple heart stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, like Brazilian babinga fafinga.
Whatever that stuff is. But anyway, Max, he was awesome. So we spent the day working with him, which is how we generally like to shoot our content anyways. If someone reaches out and they say, hey, I want to start being a little more consistent on social media, normally what that's going to entail with us is we're going to batch shoot your content.
Yep, we're going to do a media day.
We're going to try and do that in a day
Yep.
because that's efficient for all parties involved in regards to time. You've only got to be present and worry about content for one day.
Uno day.
That's your involvement. After that, we take it back, we edit it, and then we distribute it, as it's completed.
Yeah.
It's a great workflow, and it's worked for us really well. So that's what we were doing with Max, where they're shooting all kinds of stuff. The issue with Max is he is a lot like us.
Very sporadic.
And this isn't an issue. This is just more of just a personality trait.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember in school,
We're going back now.
going back to school, right? I mean,
We're going way
we
back.
have to. It's the only analogy I have.
Okay, hit me.
When the teacher would leave the room, maybe they had to go to the office to talk to their principal, whatever.
Yes.
Kids are left unattended.
And they would put one kid in charge for whatever reason.
That person probably wasn't actually responsible.
Zero
Had
responsible.
zero authority at the end of the
Zero
day.
authority, zero responsible.
Well, Brianna was certainly the teacher in this analogy, and
Yes.
she had to leave because she had obligations. So, unfortunately, you get three cool kids running around with cool stuff in a cool place with cool cameras. You lose a little bit of structure.
I think for about 3.5 hours we lost structure until she returned and whipped us back into shape.
Yeah. So, Max, I think we're gonna have to try and pump some of these clips into here.
I want you to tell me, while the teacher was gone, what was your pivotal memory from our media day with Max? What stands out to you the most as like probably the most fun, I'm gonna say 5-second moment that we had with Max? And go.
If it wasn't the donuts, it was probably his sweet skid on his female bike.
Dude, the intro.
The intro that's gonna eventually be. You'll have to be on the lookout for this piece of content.
Oh
It's
my
coming.
gosh.
The
That intro.
to his commercial.
The bike, the
bike.
skid.
Yeah.
He did it in 2 takes. And the only reason we had to take 2 takes was because I messed up on the first one.
Yeah, the
pulling
first one was
focus.
perfect.
Yeah, pull and focus, that was me. But he comes in on this bike and just skids in front of the camera. Dust everywhere. We tilt up to Max in a hero shot, and the sun rays are just beaming through.
Yeah.
He's up here and says, "Hey, I'm Max. This is Living Not Lumber." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is TV worthy."
Yep.
So that's definitely one that stands out to me. And then you mentioned the other one. It was one action, but this action happened multiple times throughout the day. I cannot quantify how many forklift donuts we witnessed on that day, and it was glorious. He was doing them in the lumber yard. He was doing them inside the warehouse. At one point in time, Max realized that we needed it as a production element because as he's kicking up smoke and dust, like that looks even better on camera. We're like, yes, Max, more donuts, more donuts. We need atmosphere.
We had these shafts of light coming through.
Shafts of light come through. It was perfect.
Right.
The Lord looked on us that day and said, "You boys are making movies, and I'm going to help."
Yeah.
It was glorious.
With forklift.
Yeah, it was glorious.
So one thing too with Max,
Definite standout moments for me.
another thing with Max, I think maybe we can talk about this a little later.
Yeah.
Not only did we hit it off on all the fun toys and the fact that our personalities are all alike and all of those things,
We're all big kids.
we're all big kids. He also is a man of faith,
Yes.
and so we were able to chat about basically how just in daily lives we can be a light to somebody.
Yeah. Well, and he lives it. He doesn't just talk it. He lives
Right.
it. We witnessed that.
That was awesome.
We witnessed that on the day of.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that after the break, but first, let's just go ahead and thank our sponsor.
Yeah. Our sponsor for episode 10 of Faith and Frames, making their second return here to the channel, and we appreciate them for it, is Animals West Veterinary Clinic of Greenville, Tennessee. At Animals West, Your pets are our passion. Our dedicated team offers personalized care, advanced treatments, and a warm, loving environment. Because at Animals West, every tale tells a story.
Ooh.
Visit Animals West today. Thank you, Tony, Amanda, Lane, and the crew down at Animals West of Greenville, Tennessee,
Yep.
for sponsoring this episode of Faith and Frames.
Yeah. Maybe we even sound better.
We might even sound better. Because
knows?
of
We'll
them.
see.
We'll see. We'll see.
So
Jared, meat and taters. Get us to the meat and taters today.
yeah, so Max is a one man band.
Yes.
In many small businesses, what that means is you wear many hats, just like we do. And so we literally had the pain point brought up to us from him of like, basically, I don't necessarily have enough time
Right.
to do social media. And honestly, that happens a lot. We don't even make enough time because we don't have enough time, right?
Right.
But he uttered a statement that basically is something that we'd been thinking about for a while. He uttered a statement that drove that home, in my opinion. He said, I have shot so many clips, video clips. I have taken so many photos throughout the day that are literally just sitting in my camera roll because as of right now, my only time to post is when I get home.
Right. Which is when he wants to spend his family time.
Exactly. So here is a business owner who is very passionate about what he does, like most people are.
Yeah.
Thought, hey, this would be a really cool video. This would be a really cool photo, whatever. Shot it
And
with
then
the intention of sharing it with his audience.
and then it went to the graveyard of the camera roll.
And then it went to the graveyard of the camera roll like so many other pieces of content do.
Well, it's no different than us with hard drives. How many pieces of content have we shot and they just die on hard drives?
I'm ashamed to admit.
I'm ashamed. We
'Cause
have so many things.
We've got some pretty cool stuff, or at least in my opinion, pretty cool stuff. Maybe the audience wouldn't give two rips about it.
Just think about the behind the scenes stuff alone that just lives
I don't
on
like
that
to.
big hard drive right behind you.
I don't like to think about that. It's just untapped.
That's a soft spot right there. I can tell.
But something Garrett and I literally probably a week, maybe 2 weeks before being on set with Max had
Yeah.
discussed was I wonder if we could help people with their content that doesn't necessarily have to involve us showing up on site with our cinema cameras, shooting, because obviously there's going to be additional costs with that, right?
Right.
We thought, I wonder if there is a way that we can help businesses if they shoot their own stuff, because in a lot of cases that's totally sufficient.
Well, we've talked about that. There's a lot of people who, are actually pretty good with their phones. Max being one of them.
Yeah, Max does a really good job.
If you look at his grid, and we can link his Instagram down below, but if you look at his Instagram grid specifically, dude's got it going on.
Yeah.
Now, could he maybe want a slight quality bump? Sure, but does he need it? Not necessarily.
No,
I think he's doing quite a good job when he posts.
When he posts, I think his frequency would be the easiest thing, right?
Yes.
And so he literally said, I've shot so many things.
Yep.
And honestly, my cousin Tristan said the same thing.
Yep.
When we were on set with him several months ago, he said, man, have you seen these cool transitions where you do the transition in camera? And we're like, yeah, we know exactly what you're talking about. He goes, dude, I shot one the other day, but I don't know how to edit it.
Yep.
I don't know how to put it together. So like there is a video which has some wow factor to it. It's going to be a cool transition. Who knows what it could do for reach, all of these things. But the point is it also is just sitting on a camera roll.
Yeah.
That one's partly time, but it's also partly expertise
Skill set,
and knowledge,
yeah.
right?
No skill set.
So another way that we could help, because what we have thought is we could work out something to where the business owner, whoever, someone within the company is shooting the content.
Right.
They get it to us. We comb through it, curate it, edit it, put it together in a reel, whatever. And then we can either give it back to them for them to post, because at that point their involvement's just putting a caption on there and uploading
Right.
it. Or another step that we offer is actual social media
Yeah,
management. So you
distribution.
think about that from like Max's perspective.
Yeah.
Busy with all the lumber stuff. Maybe thinks of a cool shot, shoots it. At the end of the day, he
Uploads
gets
it.
us the clip to us. We edit it, and then it's posted. His involvement at that point is his attention is where it needs to be, and it's in the business.
Right.
But his social media is still getting tended to, it's still getting curated, it's still getting posted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a win-win for tons of clients that
Yeah. Well, and I
or
think-
tons of businesses out there.
I think it's a good shoe in. You know, a lot of people, I mean, you talk about this, you know, in our travels and just in our normal conversations, but a lot of people, I think it is a foot in the door of consistent content creation.
Yeah.
And whenever you talk about the daunting task of doing it all, not just shooting the content, but then editing if you are editing,
Right.
Captioning. Captioning is something that I struggle with,
Right.
even on my personal stuff,
Yeah.
because golly, it's just another element of like I've got to come up with some keywords that might generate more buzz than what it would
Yep.
had it not had the caption.
Greater reach.
Yep, greater reach, and then posting not to one platform but multiple platforms.
Bingo.
It's daunting, and
Yeah.
so I believe it's a good foot in the door for people like Max,
Right.
to where all he has to focus on is doing the thing that he's doing already, which is just taking the pictures, taking the videos, dropping it into a Dropbox or a Google Drive.
Yep.
And then we can take it from there. I think that's a good shoe in for a lot of people. And two, I think it gives people the opportunity to kind of almost like a test drive.
Yeah.
Like what would a test drive look like with Motion Creative?
Right.
And it be a little lower barrier of entry.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's advantageous for a lot of people. And maybe through that, somebody realizes, you know what? I don't even think I want to shoot anymore. Go ahead and take the wheel for everything.
It's almost it could almost be seen as like a try before you buy
I think so.
to a degree.
Yeah.
So even if you do want to take part in that,
Yeah.
I would say an added benefit to that we've not necessarily mentioned is, okay, so we're editing it.
Yeah.
We're going to edit your photos. We're going to slowly start to be able to build your look.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have more consistency as far as like, scrolling your grids. Your stuff is going to look a little more consistent,
Which is
and
very
less of a
important.
hodgepodge. Yeah, I think that's important. I think that's,
That's one thing we push a lot is grid consistency with the look.
yeah,
Because somebody needs to be able to scroll your grid, your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, whatever, and know that it's from the same person every single time. It helps brand identity. This is why we spend time. This is why we spend, our hard-earned dollars on things like branding.
yeah,
That was the very reason that we reached out to Brianna,
right.
who connected us with Max.
Yeah.
The very reason we reached out to her ultimately was for consistency.
Yeah.
And brand identity.
Right.
So important in today's age.
Oh, we talked about it last week with
Yes.
Star
Yes.
and Preston.
Yes.
If you were to scroll his grid,
Yes.
or Star Fitness's grid, if you were to scroll their grid, it's going to look very consistent.
Well, we've been shooting with them now for what, 2 years?
Going on 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
A little over a year and a half, I believe now. So it's one of those things where, we figured out the color scheme that we liked, and a lot of that
Yep.
was based upon the influence of his color scheme within the logos and those things.
Brand identity.
Right. He has a blue star.
Yeah.
A lot of his Arsenal equipment is blue, all of those things. And so what we
Blue or
realized
black?
was in the gym, in that gym specifically, mood looked good.
Yep. And cool.
And cool.
Yeah,
looked
cooler
good.
look.
Certainly not going to be your Wes Anderson or
Right.
Matrix or any of those like really.
No green.
Yeah, it's very blue-ish.
Yeah.
Very cool, clean, that sort of thing.
Well, we were able to identify with Max day one that obviously he's probably going to have a warmer look.
Yes.
He's dealing
Wood
with woodworking.
is- absolutely.
Yep.
And so
A warm subject matter.
that would be an added benefit to
sure.
even that level of involvement with us. You would start to see consistency with the way your things look.
Are you saying I can do that with cell phone content, Jared?
Yeah, you can. You certainly can. A lot of it's in the way that you edit.
Right.
Well, and when I say edit, so it's like edit photos. It's the coloring aspect within the video. Those things can be tweaked subtly and dialed in to where everything looks a little more cohesive from a 30,000 level perspective.
Yeah, so if you're listening and this resonates, I mean, this is our offer.
Yeah.
We would love to talk with you if you are a small business who says, guys, and it could be a multitude of reasons. It
Yeah.
could be you are a brand new business and the budget just literally is not there.
Yeah.
But I would say 99.9999% of people have a smartphone of some sort that shoots video, that shoots photo, that we could help you with your foot in the door to consistent content creation, and that be consistency with posting frequency,
Yep.
that be consistent with the look that
Mm-hmm.
we can help you develop. Again, it is a partnering. Whenever we take you on as a client,
Right.
we partner with you. We want to grow with you. We want to figure these things out. We are experts in the field, but we're also still learning as well.
Well, every business is different. Every client's different.
Right.
Their demographic,
Everybody
what
has
their current
different needs.
platform, all of these things.
Yes.
So many differences.
Everybody has different needs, and so
Hard to be cookie cutter.
it's hard to be cookie cutter. And so this again is an offer because I think, especially in our area, there are so many people who know
Yeah.
that they need it,
Right.
but they don't know how.
Well, I mean, think about it. Seriously, Max is a perfect
Right.
example of it.
He's
Shoots stuff-
literally an ideal client for this situation.
shoots stuff
Yeah.
during the day because he knows it's cool. He wants his audience to see it. He wants to share it with his community. All these things. His only time to do that is literally when he gets home, and he has family.
Yeah.
He literally has to he has to make a decision at that point. Am I going to make this cool post, spend the time tweaking the video, all of these things, or am I going to spend time with my family?
Yeah,
Well, I would suggest, no, Max, you need to be spending time with your family.
absolutely. But as the business owner,
The
that's
business
tough.
needs, yeah, well, it does because you
That's
need,
tough.
you need to be doing something on social media.
Yeah. Oh, we talked about that. I think with Justice. Justice asked us specifically. I believe it was episode 7, maybe
Drawing a blank, I don't know.
5, 7. It was an odd number episode, I believe.
Right.
But he asked us, what changed when you became a family man, when you got married, had kids.
Right.
There is such a struggle, and I actually put out a little short film or a short reel out on my Instagram. It's such a struggle sometimes.
Yeah.
Being a family man.
Right.
And a business owner at the same time. There are times where I think to myself, gosh, if I just go work somewhere, I can come home and leave it all behind at 5:00.
Yeah. Certainly attractive too.
It's attractive at times. You can't do that as a business owner at times.
It's hard.
You can cut off the work. Like I can turn the computer off, but my brain is like, dude, we got to keep this thing from going under. So I need you to get in creative mode right now.
Right.
And it is so tough. And I know Max, he talked about that same thought process as well. It's tough as a small business owner and a father to turn off.
Well, to find that balance and the boundaries and,
Yeah.
and basically where you take this hat off, put this one on.
Yeah.
I don't know that really exists. I've not found a way to get it to exist in my life yet.
It's
so
tough.
I
It's
normally
tough.
wear this hat half on, this hat half
Yeah.
on too, type
I
thing.
have small glimmers of really good, time management in that
Right.
regard, but overall, it is a power struggle
Yeah.
between my business brain
Yeah.
and my family brain because my business is what keeps my family floating. My family is what keeps my business floating. So
Right.
it's like, it's tough. It's tough. So Max was truly an ideal client for this, concept that we had that we wanted to talk about today.
Well, it's kind of a light bulb moment. Honestly, we
yeah.
were literally talking to him about it.
Yeah.
Not even about the idea.
Right.
But just in talking to him towards the end of the day, we were talking about how, we thought he was doing a good job on social media.
Right.
This is what opened the door, and he ended up
Basically
saying,
a small audit of his account.
we're like, look, I shoot all kinds of stuff. There's so many things on my camera roll that have never been posted, strictly because I don't have the time.
I know I mentioned previously, like for some small businesses, it could be a budget concern.
Sure.
Could be a time concern.
Yeah.
I think for, others, there may be folks out there who just thoroughly enjoy shooting their content.
Right.
But they want to do it mobily. They don't give a rip about cameras.
Yeah.
They say, hey, I've got my cell phone. It works fine. They just don't enjoy that secondary process, which is the editing and the posting. Max doesn't have time to do all that. But
Right.
there are some folks out there who I would believe do have the time. They just don't want to do that secondary process. So definitely a concept that we would like to entertain if this is something that resonates with you and your business and you would love to take that test drive. We could be the guys. Now, with that,
I literally, you've sparked a thought.
yeah,
We have stated numerous occasions that we want to serve people.
yes,
Well, so that's why we're always trying to think of ways where we can help more people, help more businesses. Not that we're like God's gift creation, but like
No, certainly not
we can
that.
use some of the talents that He's given us to help businesses, to help people.
right,
An additional benefit to this service that we're trying to work out and figure out how to offer it to the world. there are going to be great opportunities for us to help grow the talent pool
Yes.
in our industry, in
That's
our
a
area.
good thought. That's a good thought.
So you think about it, like somebody who's like, you know what, I would really love to get in this whole video thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're like, you know what, I don't really like operating cameras, but I think I could be a good editor.
I like editing.
I like editing, and I don't really know how to get started.
Or I like concepting.
Yeah, so there are going to be opportunities moving forward where we can probably train and employ
Yeah.
that beginner editor who's really interested in the craft, want to
Yeah.
give it a try. This is going to be a little easier transition
Yeah,
for that person.
I think it's a
step
quick
into.
intro. Because here's the thing: when it comes to content, you know, when we talk about shooting commercials or whenever we talk about shooting social media content, I know this: if I were starting back day one, and I had to step onto a commercial production, it would rock my world. Not only on the production
Right.
side, but on the editing side. Because
Yeah.
there's still times where we're in an edit, and I'm like, "Golly, where we got to go?"
Frozen
with this?
here.
Yeah, I'm stuck, and we have to get out of that. You know, there's an opportunity, like Jared said, and we've been reaching out personally to
Yeah.
people, but I would say to our audience,
Right.
if you know a student, a young person, young or old, I don't care the age.
Right.
We don't discriminate based on age here at Motion Creative Media.
Nah.
I just want you to be willing, teachable, trainable, coachable.
Yep.
But someone looking for a base level editing position, I definitely think we could help you out there. And
Right.
it would help us in return.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are looking for editors pretty regularly.
Well, we've mentioned on multiple episodes, like editing is our biggest bottleneck in
Yeah.
reference to time and being able to help more people. And
Yeah.
so you think about that, if we're able to help spread that editing load,
Mm-hmm.
therefore we're able to help more people. So it's just a revolving door of
help.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, I mean, I know there are kids out there who are maybe doing things on their church production
Yeah.
teams. Maybe they're in high school AV
School.
club or whatever. They're like, you know what? I really do like this. I just
Yeah.
don't know how to go about getting into it.
Reach out.
They just need to reach out to
Reach
us
out.
because
And-
we
or
would
if
love
you're
to
a
sit down
parent,
with them.
uncle, aunt, send us their name. We can talk to them.
Yes.
I'll say this: I was impressed. We were on production a couple of weeks ago. I think it's been a couple of weeks ago now.
Right.
At a local high school football game, state championship, and their production team
Yeah.
for live broadcast. I was
Yeah.
amazed. I was like, you guys got it going on.
These are high school kids.
High school kids running a live broadcast, got the headsets in.
Yep.
They're calming people in, saying, "Camera 6, I'm coming to your angle."
Yep.
Like,
Hold
they're
what you got.
Yeah, hold what you got.
Cam
I'm
6,
coming
you're
in.
out. I mean, you know.
Loved it. Like they put on the full on production. The students.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And the instructor, the teacher, he just kind of sat there and monitored.
Yep.
I was like, this is cool.
This is really
We
cool.
have a good local talent pool.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're looking for a position, reach out to us. We'll
Yeah.
see if we can help you out, and in turn,
Absolutely.
see if you can help us as a business.
Bingo. Well,
Here's the hard part, Jared.
Hmm.
We hate this part.
the goodbye.
The goodbye. Actually, before we say goodbye, there are some things that our audience can do or new listeners can do
Yes.
to help this podcast if you have gained any value at all. If not, I still want your opinion. Tell us that we're crap. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Be sure to like and surprise.
There we go. Like and
Translation.
surprise.
Subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel.
Give us a rating.
Yeah, good or bad.
Good or bad. Just rate us. I mean, if
Yeah.
we're a 1-star podcast, if we're not even a 1-star podcast, just let us know.
If we're ugly, tell us.
That's a little harsh.
I said you're not going to hurt my feelings.
That's true. You did put that out there, so we've got to live by that now.
It's like the SpongeBob episode where he eats that big old like peanut onion concoction, and everybody just thinks he's ugly.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Give us a rating. Give us a review. Let us know how you think we're doing.
Yeah.
Truly, if you think that you found any value,
We'd love
or
to hear
you
it.
think that a business that maybe isn't privy to our podcast right
Yeah.
now, share it to them.
shoot him a link.
Shoot them a link. Let them know.
Give us
we
some
would
stars
love,
and bars.
we would love to partner with you,
Yes.
work with you, and help us all grow.
Hit me with the hard stuff.
I'm just gonna say it. We're gonna bounce out of here.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
Goodbye.
Peace.
See ya.
Deuces.